Tonight, WWE presents the first ever WWE WrestlePalooza premium live event from Indianapolis, Indiana. It is the first show to be broadcast on ESPN instead of Peacock as part of the brand new media rights deal. With that being said, and WWE's desire to build WrestlePalooza up to a premium live event the scale of WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, or SummerSlam, could Paul Triple H Levesque and his WWE creative team have some major surprises up their sleeve? Wow. We'll let you know 5 possible major surprises that could take place tonight at WWE WrestlePalooza. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling, and tonight marks the beginning of a brand new era for WWE as all main roster PLEs move over from Peacock over to ESPN, beginning with WWE WrestlePalooza. Now, with the announcement in the last week or so that WWE WrestleMania is heading to Saudi Arabia in 2027, it's been reported that WWE wants to elevate the WrestlePalooza IP to the level of the likes of WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam. Therefore, given that it's the first PLE on ESPN, given that it's the debut of WrestlePalooza, a show that they're going to invest a lot of time and money into, could we have some major surprises in store tonight? We're going to get into them. So let's get straight into some major surprises that could happen, beginning with Brock Lesnar. Could he defeat John Cena? We know the match is going to be opening WWE WrestlePalooza tonight on ESPN. The first match of the ESPN era of WWE will be John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, likely for the final time. We know, of course, that Lesnar versus Cena taking place is going to be the first time they've met one-on-one inside of a WWE ring for over a decade. But there's a big question, isn't there? You've got John Cena, who's got only a handful of dates left before he retires in December. We've got Brock Lesnar, who's competing for the first time in over 2 years. The last time Brock Lesnar had a match inside of a WWE ring was against Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam in 2023, in which he lost to Cody Rhodes, hugged him, and then raised his hands afterwards. Now, we haven't seen Brock Lesnar for 2 years for a variety of reasons. One, initially, was a hiatus due to having limited dates on his contract. And then, of course, we know the other reason, because he was named, not explicitly, then later explicitly, in the Janelle Grant lawsuit against WWE and Vince McMahon. Although Brock Lesnar is not a defendant, he is just explicitly named several times in it. So, who wins this match? Do you have John Cena once again vanquish a foe? We've had the return of Super Cena in recent weeks, haven't we? Really, ever since the SmackDown before SummerSlam, when John Cena ended his heel run, which was quite widely criticized. He's gone back to Super Cena, and he's had some of the best matches of his entire retirement run against Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, which was far superior than the much maligned match at WrestleMania. He then had his match against Logan Paul, which again was very, very good at Clash in Paris. You've had matches on SmackDown that have been very impressive. So does WWE revert to that formula, which is Super Cena slays the beast in Brock Lesnar? Or do you have a situation whereby, because Brock Lesnar hasn't wrestled in 2 years, and because Brock Lesnar is going to be around longer than John Cena, you would expect Brock Lesnar will be around at least longer than December, do you have to give him the win? Because eventually, when it comes to heels, you've got to build them up, build them up, build them up, build them up. And then eventually when they do lose, it means something. And when Brock Lesnar does put someone over, like he did to Cody Rhodes, it does mean something. So do you have Lesnar win or do you have Cena win? I mean, either or, if either person loses here, it doesn't do any of them a disservice. It's not as if either's being buried if they lose, but you just kind of feel like maybe there is a story there to be told that John Cena, through the first half of this year as the heel, he had to resort to dastardly tactics, using the championship as weapons, low blows and what have you. That's all he could do to get a win. Since he's turned babyface, his record's a bit more spotty again, and that's what it was coming into this year, right? If you remember, when he returned on the Raw Netflix premiere, he openly spoke about that he hadn't won a singles match in years because he didn't really have it anymore. Now, to find it, he had to turn heel. He has won a match as a babyface since he did defeat Logan Paul at Clash in Paris, but you wonder, is a revitalized, refreshed Brock Lesnar maybe too much for John Cena? I think that might be the case. Now, given the fact that it does open the show, that maybe would lead to more credence to the fact that maybe John Cena does win, because would they open the show on such a negative point? But maybe that's the story there to be told, right? Is that John Cena, maybe he just can't do it anymore, and he can't do it as a babyface, and we don't know who Brock Lesnar is going to face off against next. Originally, at one point, there were plans for him to face off against Gunther. That was back at WrestleMania 40, before, obviously, the Janelle Grant lawsuit was filed. Maybe WWE is going to go back to that plan, and if they are, they've got to maybe build up Brock Lesnar even more. There have been some suggestion that maybe John Cena's final opponent is Gunther, so maybe you could have a situation whereby Gunther is bragging that he did something that Brock couldn't do, and that's beat Cena. Either way, I'm going to go with Brock wins just because he's just come back, and because Cena, at this point, he's pretty much bulletproof. So there you go. I think Brock Lesnar defeats the Never Seen 17. Now, before we get on to the next name in this countdown list, a reminder, this video is brought to you in collaboration with all of our great affiliates. You can find out all the details on them in the video description below. They'll be pinned in the comment section, but they include NordVPN. Tonight, as I mentioned, is a big one for WWE fans in the United States because WWE main roster PLEs have now moved. They've moved from Peacock over to ESPN. And there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of speculation about how to even get the ESPN streaming app, how much it's going to cost you. Lots of people saying, I can't afford it, I'm not going to watch it. Well, what if you could watch all of your WWE content through one Netflix subscription? You can do exactly that if you have a VPN like NordVPN. All you have to do, scan the QR code, click the link in the video description below or pinned in the comment section. Use our link. If you're in the United States, you can get up to 77% off plus 3 months extra free. And then, once you've got NordVPN, you can change your location to an international territory like here in the UK, and you can watch all of your WWE content through one Netflix subscription. That's right. You can watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, main roster PLEs, NXT PLEs, archive content. That includes old pay-per-views. You can even watch Saturday night's main event for free on YouTube here in the UK. All you've got to do, get a VPN, change your location, you'll save yourself some money, and it'll make it a lot easier for you. So be sure to do that. And it's another way to support the channel. Your support is really much appreciated. Let's move on and talk about the next possible surprise. Is Stephanie McMahon winning the WWE Women's World Championship? Yes, there is going to be a match for the vacant WWE Women's World Championship. Stephanie McMahon will be facing Io Sky. Of course, the championship is vacant after Naomi relinquished the title after announcing her pregnancy recently on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Both Sky and McMahon have legitimate claims to contendership for the Women's World Championship. Of course, McMahon won that Battle Royal at Evolution. She should have had her title opportunity at Clash in Paris. That didn't happen because of the Naomi situation. Io Sky was meant to face Naomi on an episode of Monday Night Raw for the Women's World Championship, but that didn't happen because it was around the time that Naomi maybe found out that she was pregnant. She was pulled, not medically cleared, and then a couple of weeks later, it was confirmed that she was pregnant and she relinquished the title. I think the feeling is, isn't it, that Baker's probably going to win this match. You look at who needs it more. Io Sky doesn't need to be the Women's World Champion. She was the Women's World Champion earlier this year. She retained the championship at WrestleMania when a lot of people didn't expect her to do that against two very, very popular contenders in Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Even a couple of years ago, she was the WWE Women's Champion. She's won Money in the Bank. She's already kind of done it all on the main roster, whereas Stephanie McMahon is still in her first year on the main roster. On the main roster, she's been incredibly successful during her time in WWE already, of course. First ever woman to hold the NXT Women's and Women's North American Championships simultaneously, defeating Julia earlier this year. And really, ever since she's come up to the main roster, she's quickly become one of the most popular talents on the roster in general, male or female. So, given the way they've positioned her, she had that moment at Evolution when she won the Battle Royal, and then she did an in-ring interview with Stephanie McMahon as well, which was a sign to really shed some more spotlight on her. I don't know if the plan ever was for Vakur to defeat Naomi for the Women's World Championship at Clash in Paris. Maybe that's a possibility, but it feels like now WWE really is going all in on Stephanie Vakur, and I think that leads to Vakur winning the Women's World Championship tonight at WrestlePalooza, and I don't think Io Sky loses out at all. In addition to that, I think this is a match that could absolutely steal the show. Obviously, you've got some massive matches that are being spoken about and hyped up on this show. John Cena, Brock Lesnar, AJ Lee's first match in over 10 years, the main event for the WWE Championship. It's a loaded card, but this really could be the match that genuinely does steal the show. You've got Io Sky, who is arguably the best worker on the roster and actually just in the world at the moment. And then you've got Stephanie Vakur, who absolutely can go in the ring as well. So I think Kerr wins, but I also think this match could absolutely steal the show. Let's move on and talk about AJ Lee having her first match in over a decade. Yes, it's going to be CM Punk teaming up with his wife AJ Lee for her first match in over 10 years to face off against another husband and wife tandem in WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and his wife, the Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch. Now, you feel like it would kind of be a travesty, a crime, wouldn't it, if AJ Lee didn't win her first match back in over a decade? Usually how these things goes is that they play up the possibility of ring rust. They play up the possibility of not being ready. They play up the possibility of, do they still have it? Can they go anymore? And then they have the match and they go, oh my goodness me, absolutely they can still go. It was the same when CM Punk returned to the ring after over 7 years out of it when he faced off against Darby Allin at AEW All Out in 2021. The story was 7 years is a long time. Can he do it? Is he going to be able to return to action? Is he the old CM Punk, etc., etc.? Then afterwards he wins the match and you go, he's better than ever. It's like he never left. I think it would be the same here for AJ Lee. In addition to that, the titles aren't on the line. If the titles were on the line, then maybe we'd be talking about a different story here, but they're not. And if anything, a CM Punk and AJ Lee win really actually progresses both storylines further. I think you then see a situation whereby Punk eventually will challenge Seth Rollins one-on-one for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, ever since CM Punk defeated Gunther at SummerSlam and became the World Heavyweight Champion, then Seth Rollins took it off him. There's going to be, they're building towards some kind of one-on-one match for the World Heavyweight title. Maybe they have it inside Hell in a Cell, a bit like he did against Drew McIntyre last October at Bad Blood. Then when it comes to AJ Lee, as was evident when she made her return on SmackDown, she walked away with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She actually used it as a bit of a bargaining chip, didn't she, to force Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch to agree to this mixed tag team match. I think she'll be going after the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I don't think the AJ Lee-Becky Lynch feud is one and done after this match. I think what we probably see is both split off. So you have AJ Lee feuding with Becky Lynch, you have Seth Rollins feuding with CM Punk, but they're still largely separate from each other. I think that's the direction that they go. Maybe you could have a rematch, except this time the titles are on the line, and that's maybe how Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch get their win back. I don't know. But as far as tonight's, I would be very, very shocked if AJ Lee doesn't win her first match back in over a decade. Next up, could be a very big one. Could Cody Rhodes lose the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestlePalooza? And I tell you for why. As I mentioned, this is a big show for WWE. It's their first show on ESPN, so they want to make headlines. Not only have they loaded up the show and they've loaded up the card, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, AJ Lee, you've also got now a title match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. They're loading up the show, but also they want people to be talking about the show afterwards. They don't want it just to be, it's just a great show, you've got to watch it. They want to have genuine talking points. How do you create talking points and viral moments? You have a brand new WWE champion. What way to mark a new era than you have Drew McIntyre win the WWE Championship, and this time he can actually hold on to it in front of a live crowd. Because remember, McIntyre, he's only been a world champion in WWE in front of a live crowd for like a couple of minutes. But he won the championship twice. That was in the pandemic era, once at WrestleMania. Another time was an episode of Monday Night Raw in the Thunderdome. And then he dropped the championship at Elimination Chamber in 2021. He's never held the WWE Championship in front of a live crowd. He then won the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40. Damian Priest cashed in almost immediately afterwards, so he never even got to really celebrate that. We have heard that this Drew McIntyre-Cody Rhodes rivalry has been the plan for quite some time, but they never really got round to it for a variety of reasons. So there is a desire to heavily push McIntyre, who's under a long-term contract with WWE, and what a way to make a headline by having a title change on this beginning of the WWE ESPN era. That would certainly be massive. Now, you could say, but Cody Rhodes isn't really one to do that many jobs, and this is, if you're highlighting WWE to this audience, why would you have Cody Rhodes lose? Well, this is when it comes on to the final one. What if now is the time for Randy Orton to turn on Cody Rhodes? We have been talking about this ever since Cody Rhodes came back to WWE in 2022. everyone said, well, at some point, it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. There is so much history there. There is so much story there, and they've teased it for so long. Of course, for the longest time, they couldn't do it. Why couldn't they do it? Because Randy Orton was out for 18 months through injury, so it was impossible to do. Then, when Randy Orton comes back, Cody Rhodes is already sort of the franchise, the face of the company. At that point as well, Cody Rhodes is well on the path to finishing the story, going after the WWE Championship, so he has to kind of complete that. And then again, for the longest time, we're waiting. When is he going to do it? They've had moments like that where Randy's been caught staring at the championship, staring at the WWE title, wondering about it. And he's a viper, he's a snake. Eventually, he's going to return. Now, recently, they had a match in the finals of the King of the Ring. Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton. And after the match, there was a shot. There was a shot when Cody Rhodes was given his acceptance speech and his thank you speech. There was a shot where Randy Orton turned around and he looked absolutely sickened with himself. He looked furious. He wanted to be the one to end John Cena's WWE Championship reign. Something he couldn't do at Backlash because people got involved, so he couldn't happen. He wanted to have another opportunity at Cena and dethrone him, and he couldn't. He lost to Cody, and then Cody went on to do what he couldn't at SummerSlam, and that's defeat John Cena. And that must eat away at him. Then, in Cody's absence, after Drew McIntyre took him out, Randy Orton was fighting for Cody. He was going to hit the punt kick with McIntyre. The referee stopped him from doing that. McIntyre then won. Cody had to come out to save him. And maybe that just doesn't eat right with the Viper. So my big prediction for this evening is not only does Cody Rhodes lose the WWE Championship, it's because Randy Orton cost him it. Now, would I be surprised if maybe Cody retains and then Orton turns on him? No, I wouldn't be surprised by that either. I just feel like at this point, it's coming. It's coming. After a long time of waiting, maybe tonight's the night where Randy Orton turns on Cody Rhodes. So there you go, guys. There are 5 possible major surprises that could take place tonight at WWE WrestlePalooza. What are your thoughts on the list? Which ones are likely, unlikely? Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Remember, our goal is to get to 25K in 2025. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And one more time, you can see right there, you can scan that QR code. You can use the link in the video description. It'll be pinned in the comment section. You can get up to 77% off, plus 3 months extra in the US. If you get NordVPN, you can change your location. You can watch everything through Netflix like we do here in the UK. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, as always, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.